In today's video, I want to show you two new tools I've came across in the last 7 days. One of them called Magic Ads, the other one called Magic Brief. And hey, if you don't know what these tools are about, one of those allows you to make AI-based UGC videos. As in, you give it one link and it gives fully AI-made UGC video with an avatar that speaks about your products, has automatic subtitles, cuts, and everything. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And the latter, you can think of it as a competitor to Foreplay. So it's an ad-saving tool that is, one, much cheaper and has different features. So let's get straight into it. If you don't yet know who I am, my name is Justin, and I'm the founder at paidadvertising.com, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. Magic Ads was my find of the last week. I actually came across that software on Twitter. Somebody shared about their experience with it, and I was like, I have to try it. So I'll actually post on screen right now the video that made me want to shoot this current video.
Tired of complicated payment processing? Want to scale faster? Imagine a world where online payments are a breeze. Welcome to Stripe, the ultimate payment processing platform for all internet businesses. Visit stripe.com now and revolutionize your business payments.
So look, as you've probably seen, it's not perfect, right? We're not yet at a perfect level, I'd say. I wouldn't feel confident running that as an ad, but we're getting there. And I think this is one of the first versions of a completely AI-based UGC software that at least I've seen in the last month. So if I kind of scroll down a little bit, you can kind of see more about some examples. So they have one for like Spotify, one for LinkedIn, one for Stripe as a website. From what I noticed, it seems to be working better for an app or software. So it seems to be more SaaS made, because you probably have heard in the video that I just showed you at the start, I was trying to do an example for one of our e-commerce clients, but it said like app essentially in there, which technically it's not an app, it's a product. So it seemed like, again, this is made a little bit more for SaaS and just like apps for now. But if I click play on one of those, can you see that this is an AI? Yeah, of course you can. But the fact that literally all I've done is plug and play URL, click create a free magic ad, downloaded the result, and that was it. Like the AI did everything. It did the script, it did the cuts, it shows kind of the character and then the mouth and everything. So to me, like, that is kind of good progress. I am very curious to see where that's going to go for our space. As of lately, I've seen a lot of movements in the UGC just sphere as a whole. Typically, I think when we first started in this UGC space, it was quite inexpensive to hire UGC creators because it was new, because people didn't really know what this was. And then at some point, they've just kind of built an entitlement, or there's a lot of people that transition from becoming a micro creator to an influencer, and they also started charging more, which makes sense if they have an audience. But then that just kind of created some form of UGC inflation, where prices just started going up and up and up. And as one of my good friends, Spencer, actually posted on his own YouTube channel, he did a test in the last few months where he completely stopped doing paid campaigns on Incense and only went with product seeding campaigns. So instead of, as an example, having a narrowed down pool of creators where you have, let's say, 5 or 6 creators only that you pay a specific price for them to execute on a specific script, instead you just offer product only. You don't pay them for them to execute on the video. You go with a wider bunch. So typically, let's say 20 people. Out of that 20, you might get about 12, 13, 14 pieces of content back. And the only thing you would have paid for is the product. You wouldn't have paid an actual creator cost, which does help you, one, reduce costs. Two, we've also noticed that it's actually faster usually to get the content for some reason. That way, it's like, it seems the creators are a lot more bought into the brand. And I'm saying that just to show you that, like, the UGC space has evolved a lot. And on our side, what we started doing in the last year too is cloning creators' voices through AI. So using stuff like 11 Labs, essentially. If you haven't used it yet, I highly recommend that you do. But we have been using stuff like 11 Labs right here. You can see I literally recorded a voicemail for our company's phone number, essentially, where somebody calls. It's entirely done by AI. And the beauty with that is that if you have a high performing ad, you can simply save the audio of that ad, upload it to 11 Labs, have it being trained around that same voice, and then make like unlimited scripts from it. You can change the voice settings, the intonation, the tonality, the kind of emotions behind it, and it really sounds A1. So that said, it's like creators are now more open to working with brands, quote unquote, for free. I've seen a lot of stories on TikTok actually of creators. I've seen a few females now coming about and saying like, look, I don't want to become an influencer. The only reason I first got into UGC was to make a spare income, and instead I realized that if I went after brands that, one, I loved, two, that got me the products that I needed, well, I just had to pay less of living costs, right? I saw this video of a mom that was speaking about her experience as a mom. She was like, look, you know how expensive child's clothing can be because they just grow out of them so fast. She's like, you know how expensive a stroller can be, or a baby car seat. And she's like, look, I haven't paid for anything for my kid, and she's now, I think she was like 3 or 4 years old. She's like, she's been living completely for free, or almost completely for free, for the first 3 or 4 years of her life, because she's gotten everything from shooting UGC. Essentially, she was like, look, I just apply for campaigns to give me the products that I need for my kid. That's it. And it's a very smart way to do so. But seeing that movement in the UGC creator space, where like creators are more and more commoditized, if you want, and on the other hand, like we can, instead of having to repay the same creator 10 times, let's say, to just have a new hook or new voiceover, that can now be done with AI. I feel like tools like Magic Ads are bringing a touch of freshness essentially to the space, and I hope we're going to be able to see kind of better and more tools and more competitors of such software in the future. So that was a kind of very quick intro to Magic Ads, a bit of a news, if you want, of mine, like a finding over the last 2 weeks. And now Magic Brief. Magic Brief, actually, I came across that tool for the first time when building my software at our agency earlier this year. So Magic Brief came about in our research of the market. And some of the reasons that we came across that option is that, one, we were looking at what were the competitors of Foreplay, actually, right? What were the other businesses out there? Magic Brief came about. They had also reached out to me already on Twitter a couple times, and also on LinkedIn. So I was like, look, I have to check them out at that point. Now, they typically can do pretty much everything that Foreplay does from a swipe file or discovery perspective. Like, they have essentially the discovery feature, and they also have like one-click ad saving from TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. They have like the same thing about like no broken links, like your ads are saved forever. One of the key things that I think they do great is the AI features they have about recreating an ad. So let's get straight into their software. So now, as an example, if I'm in the discovery tab right there and I see like top right, I've got my filters. I can take a look at the brands, right? I can actually search for a brand, or just like take a look at some of the brands that they've already saved those ads from. I could click save, and then it would basically go to my ads right here. So you kind of have all the ads that you have. You can copy links, send it to someone. I'm going to show you right here real quick. Like if I do that and send it to someone right here. And one of the things that you can do that I quite like here is you can click on any ad. You can go on the right. You'll see they have a feature called Magic AI. And then you can click on view keyframes, which essentially it breaks down any video ad into a storyboard. And it actually adds sometimes some elements to it. So if there's any text, it'll add it. If there's like, if it notices there's like any music or whatnot, like it'll mention it right here. And then from there, you can actually use these shots to integrate into a brief that you make. So as an example, I could go top right corner and click export options, export to new board right here, and boom, now I've just made a storyboard out of these entire keyframes that I got from a video. So I could, as an example, remove this one, remove that one, remove this, instead of keep those two, I bring them closer, and then here it already says like outro music, and I can kind of add my actions right there. So I feel like that's also great and easy for creative strategists to kind of just speed up their workflow. It's like, all right, this is my inspo. Let me save, let's say, like I'm a creative strategist right now. Let me just kind of go through my workflow. I would go to Inspire. I would save, let's just say 4 or 5 ads. Like this one I like, this one I like, and this one I like, right? Then I go back to my ads. I essentially click on all of these ads. So let me just open this one up. So whenever making their storyboards they have right here, is kind of shown earlier, I can take it from an existing video ad and kind of merge it into my own. And then right here, I can click on like plus and then add any other of my own images that I would want in that storyboard. So that way it's great to work with a content creator, because I can send them like exactly how I want this to look like, what's the script and what's going to be action step, which both are right here. You can even also tag like each of the steps as whatever step it is in the video. The only thing that I found right here is that this seems to be more like problem solution or product aware, like the ones that they have right here. There's not a lot of like choices in order to label your videos. I'm sure this will come with time. But besides that, it's very, very, very similar, once again, to what you would be using in Foreplay. Like there's a brief right there. I can create my brand profile. Let's just say like paidadvertising.com as an example. I create a brand profile from there, and then I can kind of like edit that and then add like any information that I have about this brand, attach files, attach brand guidelines, media, etc. I go back, I create a brief, I can create a new brief, let's just say blah, 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 create a brief right there. And then same thing again, like I can just basically like add references from any of the ads that's, let's say I just saved earlier. So if I was a creative strategist, I saved all of these ads earlier. I'm going to click on those, click done, boom, all of them are added right here. Those are references for my brief. I can add like concepts that I would have already done. So let's say past like storyboards right there. And it's quite complete, right? Like the brief tool, honestly, it's quite complete. Like you choose, it's very modular. Like you choose what to add to the end results. You choose how to format it. So that way, one, you can brand it to your own agency or team as an example. Or if you're a brand, well, you can brand it to your brand before sending it out to a creator. So as a recap of what it can do, you can break down assets with Magic AI, which I did earlier. It kind of creates storyboards out of the video ads, transcribes them, and adds also kind of what's the action step done in the video. So if it's like a music or whatnot, save ads using their extension, export the briefs, the storyboards, etc. Create links that won't ever expire, save ads on the go because they have like a mobile friendly version of it, and then collaborate with the team. So if you're familiar again with Foreplay, that's going to sound very familiar. I think the Magic AI part is one of the interesting feature that I've found about Magic Brief. And the second thing that I love the most is the pricing. Pricing is honestly much lower than any of the other prices I've seen on the space. $29 for a single user, and then only $9 for every additional user. So having a team right now, as an example, on our side would be, because currently we have like 2 users on our plan. Let's say at a competitor software, it's currently like $38 to go with Magic Brief versus competitive software. You're looking more at like $100, $150. So if you want to save up a little bit on the software, and if you want to experience, again, these features mentioned in this video, then I highly recommend you check out Magic Brief. I'm going to leave a link to them down below in the description for you to check them out. And don't forget to also check out magicads.ai if you want to start playing and be one of the first to experience these AI-made UGC videos. And hey, if you're an e-commerce brand owner watching this video and you want to work with a paid ads growth firm, then click the link down below and book in a call to speak with our team today. On that note, I'm going to wish you an amazing day. Check out other videos of the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.